Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to Friday's Assembly. We're going to start Friday's Assembly with the wonderful news that Trey has now got a beautiful baby sister, and her name is Eleanor or Ellie Florence Scott. And I went on Zoom and had a look at Trey's beautiful sister. And Trey, you look so proud of her, and I know you're going to be an amazing brother. Uh, Congratulations to the Scott family, and we know that Trey is going to look after little Ellie so well. So thank you, Trey, for being a great brother already. I saw the way you were stroking her hair and just looking at her in such a lovely way. You're going to be a great, great brother. So beginning with congratulations and fantastic news. Really, really good news. We're very excited for you and the family. Yesterday, it was Leah's birthday. I'm sorry, Leah. I missed off you off the birthday list and you weren't in the card on Friday. But on Monday, we will sing happy birthday to quite a lot of people, actually, because we've got this weekend, it's actually Florence and Christina's birthdays. They both got birthdays this weekend, and Leah's was yesterday. And there's quite a few birthdays next week. We're also going to be lighting our candle for little Ellie Scott. She was born on the 8th of May. So on Monday, we'll have lots and lots of birthday celebrations. Hope you have a lovely birthday, girls, on this weekend. And Leah, hope you enjoyed yours yesterday. So lots of lovely news. I've asked the staff if there are any particular children they'd like me to mention, and I've got a big list here for you. So first of all, let's have a little look in nursery. I've got a message that Isaac and Olivia T in nursery have been doing fantastic learning and good listening, and their teachers would like to say well done to Isaac and Olivia T in nursery. Well done to you too. In RU, all of RU, well done RU, but Trey especially, well done Trey for great capacity did some great capacity work. I think they were doing measuring, and anyway, great work Trey, and for good focus this week. So 2 mentions for Trey. In RL, we've got Madison and Sahara. They have been sharing their resources so beautifully. It's really clear that you two girls are working so well at home together, and they're sharing the iPad and things. And I noticed when you both come on at story time, you share everything, and we're really proud of you. So Madison and Sahara, thanks for being great sisters, working so well together. That's lovely. What else have I got here? I have got, in year 1, they've been doing some fantastic work. In the year 1, I've got especially a shout out for Jacob. Jacob, apparently your reading is coming on beautifully. You're doing some great work. So year 1, all of year 1 again, but Jacob especially. Congratulations to Jacob. In year 2, we're actually going to finish my assembly today with a fantastic story reading by Livy. She's done a lovely poem about fear, and she's reading a story about fear and how we can combat our fear. So Livy, thank you for your story. It's so beautifully read. It's so calm, and you use your intonation so well. So Livy, thank you for your story reading. We're really proud of you. And an extra shout out for Wolfie. Wolfie, you've been sharing all your work on Zoom so confidently this week, and we're very proud of all the efforts you've been making. So shout out for Wolfie in year 2. Year 3, everybody has got a mention from Mr. Lopez for your Spanish work. So thank you for working so hard in Spanish year 3. Year 4, Jack has done an impressive tour leaflet accompanied by a TV advert. Well done to Jack. And Florence, who has made a superb radio show for her topic work, and I think she's comparing North and South America. So Florence, great job, and again, we hope you have a lovely birthday this weekend. We've had year 6, impressive baking, by the Year Sixes on the Friday. There's a lovely, I'm sure, I hope you saw it as part of the assembly, all the Year Sixes doing their bake out. So thank you, Year Six, for some lovely baking. You really inspired me to go and get my apron on and maybe make some scones myself. So Year Six, and also never ending upbeat, positive attitude from Year Six. That's what I like to hear. Well done, Year Six. I've missed out Year Five. Here we are. Year Five, Xavier and Harris, for working hard in English, especially, and then I've got Valentina and Mira for their lab reports in science. So those are all our special mentions. Really well done to all of those people. Let's give you a big clap. Amazing. Thank you for working so hard, and all of you, everybody that is listening to this assembly, you're working so well, and I know these are difficult times, but you're coping brilliantly. I'm going to be announcing, there's a charity, and this charity is called Merry Go Round. Arthur's mum in nursery is involved in helping with this fantastic charity. It's called Merry Go Round, and what it does, it's going around and collecting clothes, books, and children's toys that you don't need anymore. And the idea is that you would wrap them up and put them on your doorstep, and Merry Go Round will arrange someone to come and collect those things. They are then sorted and cleaned and made safe, and then they are delivered to the poor families in, I think it's North and West London. Anyway, I will send out the link in my newsletter. So it's Merry Go Round. Arthur's mum in nursery is helping to organise everything for us, and we're going to be supporting that charity this term. So that's all amazing. We're going to have Livy's video in a minute. It's her reading, as I said, about fear, and it made me think about fear. I hear there's quite a lot of you getting worried about things at the moment, and I just wanted to tell you to not be afraid, to enjoy every day. And when you feel that worried and nervous feeling, you can try our breathing, because that definitely helps. You know, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And then you can stare at that fear. What is it? Have a look at it. Try and understand, what are you actually afraid of? What is it that you're worried about? If you get a piece of paper, you could draw your worry. What does it look like? Or you could try and describe it in words if you can write. If you can't write, just draw a picture, colour it in, have a look and stare at that fear. What is it that I'm afraid of? I'm going to have a look at it. And then when you've had a look at it, if it doesn't go then the best thing to do is to share your fear. Now, in school, we had the worry box, didn't we? And you could go down to the dining room and you could write or draw a picture, and you could share your worry with one of the teachers. Now, I'm aware that you can't do that at the moment because you haven't got a worry box. Might be something nice for your parents. Maybe you could make yourself a worry box, and you could put it in the corner in your room, and you could post little worries if you're having them in the worry box, and then the adults in your house could perhaps share the worries and help you to talk through them. Because when you're young and you're a child, you shouldn't be spending your time worrying and being frightened of things. Let the adults deal with all of that. A lot of the worries that we have actually aren't real. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to think my dressing gown was a monster on the back of my door. And every night I used to go to bed and I'd close my eyes, and when it was dark, I'd look at the back of my door and I thought, oh, there's a monster on the back of my door. There's a monster. And this went on night after night. And one day my mum came in and she said, what are you frightened of? I said, my dressing gown, it turns into a monster at night. And she said, it doesn't really. That's all in your mind. And often we have these things that are going on in our imagination. And one thing we can do with our fears is we can look at them, stare at them, draw them, write them, share our fears. And if they've still not gone when we've shared them, we can get prepared to do battle with our fears. So one of the things I did to do battle with my fear of my dressing gown, which turned into a monster at night, was to actually get a torch and put it by my bed. So that night I thought, I'm not going to be afraid, because when I get afraid, I'm going to turn my little torch on and show that that really isn't a monster. It's actually my dressing gown. So a lot of things that you might be worrying about at the moment, while you're thinking, could dissolve, could stop being worries if you actually told your parents or told the adults, or put them in your little worry box. Because childhood is a time for you to be happy. And as I've always said to you, you should be enjoying every single day. Now I've got another, a little quote, and this is from Seneca. And Seneca was a Roman Stoic philosopher. He was born on the 12th of April, 65 AD in Rome. This was a long, long time ago. And what Seneca said was, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And what Seneca was saying was, in our minds, we create worries and tensions and big problems. But actually, they're in our mind. They're not, a lot of it isn't real. So I want you this weekend to be talking about anything that you're worried about with your family, or writing it down or drawing it, and try and have a happy, happy time while you're at home. And Livy's got a lovely story now that we're going to hear, and it's all about thinking positively about not being afraid. And in fact, when you think, I'm not afraid, I'm going to face this positively, often those things you're afraid of disappear. When you're afraid and you allow the fear and the worry to overcome your mind, it stops you enjoying it. You probably remember that time when I played the flute at Christmas, and I was so worried about that. I don't know why, but I was so worried about making a mistake and playing the wrong note, that when I actually did it, it spoilt my enjoyment of it, because I was too nervous and my hands were shaking. So that sort of fear isn't actually very helpful. It's not useful at all. You remember that story that I told about the man who was going out for a walk, and he fell over the side of a cliff, and as he was falling, he grabbed onto a vine that was hanging over the side of the cliff. Some of you were there in this. It was one of our assemblies, and we had people dressed up in all sorts of my scarves. And the man hanging over the side of the cliff looked up, and there was a tiger at the top of the cliff. And when he looked down into the valley, there was a tiger growling at him at the bottom. And as he held on to the rope, he knew he couldn't climb up and he couldn't climb down. But some little mice came and started to eat the rope that he was hanging onto. It was like a vine, you know, like a grapevine he was hanging off. As he held onto the vine, little mice came and started to eat the vine and nibble away at it just above his head, just up there. And they were going, and they were eating the vine, eating through it. And he looked down and he was terrified, and he looked up and he was terrified. And then he noticed on the cliffside there were some strawberry plants, and there was a beautiful ripe strawberry. And despite his panic, he held on with one hand. He reached out and took the strawberry and he ate it. And in that moment, he tasted the strawberry and he said to himself, what a delicious strawberry. Now, it's an ancient tale and I have changed it many times myself, but it's actually saying about living in the present moment and enjoying what's happening here and now. So the lion up above symbolizes the past, and you look back and you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I wish I'd done something different. And the lion down below in the valley represents the future. And you could be thinking, oh, so everything's going to be terrible. Oh, everything's so scary. But actually, in the present moment, right here, right now, you can enjoy everything that you have, just like that beautiful strawberry and how beautifully it tasted to that man. So enjoy your day. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you again on Monday. We're going to end with Livy's story. Thank you, Livy, again. It's just so well read. I think you're all going to really enjoy it. So have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your birthdays, girls. And I will see you on Monday with my special birthday card. And we will sing happy birthday. Hopefully we'll have a little picture of Trey's sister by then, and we'll be able to share that with you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
My name is Livia. I am reading a poem by Maya Angelou with paintings by John Michel Basquiat. The poem is about keeping going, and that even though there are scary things in life, we can tell ourselves we are not frightened and can make us less afraid. Life doesn't frighten me. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud. Big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old Mother Goose, lions on the loose, they don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flames on my counterpane, that doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoo. I make fun, wait they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys in a fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys pull my hair, kissy little girls with their hair in curls. They don't frighten me at all. Don't show me the frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid at all, it's only in my dreams. I've got a magic charm that I keep up my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor. I'd never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all.